Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sabrina and today we have the Ninja Creami recipe you didn't know you needed. So this one is perfect for summer. It's so refreshing. It's a high protein watermelon ice cream. So I know maybe not the most conventional, but it is really tasty, really simple. Only 3 ingredients, and this one is going to be nice and light. It's less than 200 calories and 20 grams of protein. So let's get into it. Super simple. If you enjoy this content, please feel free to like and subscribe so I know to keep making more. All right, let's get into it. So one of the many things I like about this recipe is that it's super simple. You're not going to need any of that pudding mix or cottage cheese or anything like that. It's just 3 ingredients, so very easy. And then the other thing is just the texture. It's really, really nice. I think it must be incorporating some of this fruit, and also I like to use this ultra filtered milk. This is essentially the Fairlife knockoff that you can get at Aldi, but any milk will work, though I do recommend something like a Fairlife or this one because it's going to have a little extra protein, a little bit less sugar. But it's just so simple. It's super refreshing, and 20 grams of protein for 200 calories, like for a whole tub of ice cream. That's craziness. So let's get to the recipe. You're just going to use half a cup of your milk of choice. Again, this is the one I recommend and the macros that I have calculated. Now you're going to add 2/3 of a scoop, or about 20 grams of protein powder of choice. I really like PE Science. A vanilla is going to work well. I probably wouldn't branch out too far with other flavors just because you're going to have a lot of flavor from that fruit anyway. So if I don't need to mix everything up in a blender ahead of time because I think the Creami is going to be able to handle it, then this is the method that I like to do, which is getting my liquid in first and then my powder, and then just using a frother to combine these two. Okay, that's looking great. Super simple, like I said. Now I'm not going to be using a blender for this one because this fruit is so juicy and tender that I know my Creami can handle it, and I did test it beforehand. But if you're worried, feel free to blend it up. But what I'm going to do instead is just kind of mash it down a little bit, and you can chop it into small pieces. What I have here is about 1.25 cups or 200 grams of fresh watermelon. And 200 grams is actually pretty substantial. This is a lot of watermelon. And what I like to do is, if for some reason you have a little bit too much fruit, I think these Creamis are perfect for using up leftover fruit. So I really like to look for the ones that are very ripe, really colorful. I think that adds a lot of sweetness. I'm not even going to add any extra sweetener to this one because I'm pretty confident that my watermelon here is nice and ripe. So again, about 1.25 cups. I've just mashed it down a bit. And I'm going to add all of that to my Creami pint. Now I'm just going to stir it all together. And that's it. I don't know if it could be much simpler. So you're just using half a cup of your milk of choice, about 2/3 of a scoop of your favorite vanilla protein powder, and then I'm using over a cup of watermelon, and I just mixed it all up. And now I'm going to come back in 24 hours, and for 200 calories, I'm going to have a pint of delicious watermelon ice cream. I really love this recipe, and it's a great way to use up any leftover fruit and get a little bit of your protein fix. So I will see you in 24 hours. All right, welcome back. It is 24 hours later, and it is time to spin up our Creami. As always, some of my tips at this stage are to leave the Creami out for 5 to 10 minutes on the counter just to let it defrost a little bit, and then you can also run it under some hot water, and again, it's just going to make it easier to spin up. All right. Just gonna go ahead and turn this on and press light ice cream. All right, we just finished the first spin, and this is how it's looking. That is totally normal, very powdery. I'm just gonna add a little bit of liquid. I use almond milk generally at this stage to the center. And then what I like to do is get in with my little spatula and just scrape the edges down a bit. All right, and then we're just going to do probably one more respin, but we will check. Okay, let's go ahead and see what it's looking like. And that is gorgeous. Just get in with my spoon and show you How creamy. So this one again is coming in right around 200 calories, 20 grams of protein. Great texture. I'm super excited. I'm just gonna put it in a bowl. See you guys in a sec. All right, here's how it's looking. Excuse my scooping abilities, but I just had a taste and it is so delicious. This one is so easy. Such a great way to use any leftover watermelon up if you have some hanging around. And it's gonna get you 20 grams of protein. I really love this one. I hope you do too. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much.